In the headlines, Tinubu Shetima take oath of office as president and vice president. Nigerians expect President Tinubu to fix the economy and address insecurity. Media mogul and founder of AIT and RAPA, Raymond Dokubo, dies at 71. On the foreign scene, South African president appoints judge to oversee weapons for Russia inquiry. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. Now, beginning with the May 29 inauguration, President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians of a renewed national hope towards building of a better society, saying the mandate given to him is not misplaced. Tinubu said this in his speech at the presidential inauguration in Abuja on Monday. Habiba Ajayi reports that dignitaries at the ceremony were thrilled by a colorful military parade heralding the swearing-in ceremony. The report.
Bola Tinubu is sworn in as the 16th president of Nigeria at Eagle Square, Abuja, Nigeria's capital. The event witnessed the taking of oath by the president and his vice president, Kashim Shettima. The president has inspected the Guard of Honor parade, taking over national colors and instruments of office from former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Let us take the next great step. The journey that began in the evening. Today, let us commit ourselves to placing Nigeria in our hearts as the indispensable hope for each and every one of all, regardless of creed, ethnicity, or place of birth.
The whole of Abuja was cool and calm with a serene atmosphere, occasioned by the public holiday which kept residents at home, and the early morning shower which seems to dull the horizon. Tinubu promised to remodel the nation's economy, targeting gross domestic product not less than 6% growth in his administration.
We shall invest more in our security personnel and it means more than an increase in number. We shall provide better training, equipment, pay, and more. On the economy, we granted a GDP not less than 6% growth. We can accomplish all of it. Let the following step. Budgetary reform. Stimulating the economy without literary definition. Industrial policy. To utilize the full range of domestic manufacturing and lessen import dependence.
However, the president extended hands of fellowship to his opponents in the February 25th election, saying political coloration has faded away, and now it is time to rebuild national affinity and brotherhood. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV, Abuja.
Meanwhile, Nigerians have expressed high hope that the new President Bola Tinubu will quickly fix the economy and address insecurity as his inauguration marks the end of Buharis' 8 years administration. Noel Samson speaks to some Abuja residents on their expectation from the new administration.
The last 8 years under former President Muhammadu Buhari have been eventful but turbulent. Some Abuja residents listed economic growth, improved security, good governance, social development, and job creation as what they want the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration to prioritize.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he came in order to save the country, because in reality, Nigeria now we are facing three challenges. First, insecurity. Second, inflations. and the third is joblessness. So both these three categories that we are facing in this country, we have especially Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his colleague Shatima should do their best to deliver the country.
Hospital and salary. So the president should look about that.
We must look at mining, we must look at agriculture, we must look at other human resources, other resources that we are endowed with. We will develop them and harness them. One thing I like about this president, Ahmed Tinubu, is that he knows how to assemble the best sound to get the best result for the nation. So my expectation is he's going to deliver. He's going to deliver. And I want everybody to cooperate. But you cannot work magic when there's no cooperation. Whether the opposition or not, they should all come together and move the country forward.
Let there be growth in the country in all the sectors of the government. People are suffering. No, I'll not tell you lie. There's no food. Cashless policy came. Oh, COVID-19 came. And all these held persons down. I'm a party to some of my brothers, family members, lost their life in regard to this instability of the government. So what we are expecting from this government is restructure and renewal of the hope.
Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima took oath of office as president and vice president at a colorful inauguration ceremony at Eagle Square in Abuja on Monday. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, after years of planning and politicking, Bola Ahmed Tinubu takes over office as the 16th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In this report, Yusuf Akogu takes a look at his journey to presidency. The report.
Popularly known as Jagaban, the former governor of Lagos State has never hidden his ambition to become the President of Nigeria. In a bid to actualize his dream of ruling the country, Bola Tinubu formed an alliance with General Muhammadu Buhari's CPC, ANPP, and other political parties. The alliance between Buhari's northern bloc of the Congress for Progressive Change and Tinubu's southern bloc of the Action Congress of Nigeria will later give birth to the All Progressives Congress and make Buhari the president in 2015 and 2019. In early 2022, he announced his desire to succeed Buhari, the retired general whom he assisted to become president. Not a stranger to politics, Tinubu's political journey began in 1991 as a member of the People's Democratic Movement, the political group of the late Major General Shehu Yar'Adua, retired. He spent years understanding Nigerian politics and tactics. This experience would later work for him. In 1992, Tinubu was among the new set of politicians who were cleared by the former military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, to contest elections, and he was elected as a senator representing Lagos West Senatorial District in the Third Republic that lasted only 22 months.
He has seen it all, he has the experience, and he has the capacity. It's not a too rosy journey, so to say, but Providence have made him to be where he is today.
He's been a veteran, he's been a consummate politician and an experienced administrator. And so in all of these years, he's been building alliances. He's been making sure his tentacles, his influence within the establishment politics in Nigeria, we are well entrenched. And what we see today is simply a result of his long years in the arena of democratic process in Nigeria.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has paid his due, and we're happy that this today, the inauguration that happened today, it has seen the light of the day. We have struggled for this, for everything he has sowed, the seed he has sown. God Almighty has made those seeds germinate, and he's reaping it now. Asiwaju's journey should serve as a lesson to younger Nigerians, to younger generation, to even our political stakeholders, that when you have an ambition to achieve something, you should think the long haul. You should think about empowering people. You should think about building bridges to unify the country.
Senator Tinubu emerged victorious in the 2023 presidential elections conducted on February 25th. Now the 16th president of Nigeria, Tinubu defeated his opponent, scoring 8.7 million votes with over 25% of the vote cast in 30 states, and was subsequently declared winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission on March 1, 2023.
This was the most keenly contested presidential election in the history of Nigeria, and that was the reason why it was so close, to the extent that, being the candidate of the ruling party in the last 8 years, he failed to secure the totality, the overwhelming majority that most elected presidents since at least 1999 have secured. And so the challenge here is to move quickly to shore up the legitimacy of his legitimate mandate. And that will be, first, putting in place measures, deliberate measures at that, to unite a country that is thoroughly divided from a keenly contested election. And so he must be statesmanly in his conduct from day one.
He has sent out his speech, or this inaugural speech, that around unifying the country. You can see he's already extending olive branch to the other candidate. He said he's not in any way more than the other candidates. So he's already throwing up light that he's going to unify the country, and that is a lot of hope for us.
Regardless of the opposition to his victory, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be saddled with responsibility of walking the talk of his renewed hope agenda in the areas of security, economy, and fighting corruption. Yusuf Akogu, Trust Television News, Abuja.
Although former President Muhammadu Buhari has handed over to President Bola Tinubu, the narrative on the street is that the All Progressives Congress government brought untold hardship to the Nigerian people. In this special report, Kende Amodu looks at the New Hope agenda being advocated by President Bola Tinubu and whether he will do better. The report.
Nigerians are quick to judge, and when they reach a verdict, are often unshakable in their convictions. The verdict on the Buhari administration is that even though he did quite a bit to bring change to the lives of Nigerians, he did not go far enough.
I would say they're doing well. They're doing well, but there's so much complaint about their badness or all the loopholes where they fail to fill.
Security is number one, which they promised us they are going to tackle. They could not succeed on it. Then suffering, poverty. They promised us on poverty, they failed. They promised us on electricity, they failed.
So many things that we have expected from the government, like I'm a graduate. So we expect like we were going to have some, vacancies of jobs. All these things were in vain. And all the promises that was made to us, we see nothing.
These sentiments expressed can be traced directly to two factors: the Naira redesign policy, which turned out to be a failure, and rising inflation, which is a global phenomenon.
How well have we done can be judged by Nigeria's emergence from COVID-inspired recession as being number 2 nation in the world to have come out, of COVID-induced recession. That tells you that we have put in place very many effective measures that have led to the regeneration of economy and to its stabilization.
This government has really to beat its chest. Of course, there are one or two things that came. Their timing was bad, extremely bad. The issue of changing the Naira, all right, it brought untold hardship on the citizenry. And it cost this administration a lot of goodwill. In the end, where is the change of currency?
So why did Nigerians vote back the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 elections?
Ask anybody who you come close to on the street and say, what were you doing that when Buhari came? Buhari's coming affected you from doing it legitimately that you were doing. Today, there is relatively more power than we had under PDP. Today, there is relatively improved infrastructure than we had under PDP. But the big challenge is that we are so used to free money.
To be fair to the administration, it did make progress in implementation of certain policies, which have changed the economic profile of the country. There is, for instance, the agricultural revolution, which gained enormous progress, but which now seems stuck in the mud.
For the better part of 2016, 2017 to about 2020, fertilizer was fairly available at affordable price. In fact, government set up a price for fertilizer, 50 kg of fertilizer, and it succeeded. That policy succeeded. All right, but Nigeria can trust us. We have a way of how do you do it? Undermine is very strong word to use, but we undermine that policy.
The challenge that Russia-Ukraine had for us is that we had brought in phosphate in addition to Morocco, but also from Russia, given the increasing number of fertilizer blending companies in the country. Now that's being blocked. We had to look to countries like Canada with higher prices, and the meaning that a government that had delivered fertilizer at 5,500 naira per bag, of course that is no longer possible.
The die is cast, and there is now an incoming government. The question on many lips is, will it be any different? What will it need to do to improve on the successes of the Buhari administration?
The president-elect knows how to create wealth if he wants for the majority of the citizens. Your steel industry has capacity to employ 17,000 engineers in one fuel soup, and the ancillary Oshogbo and Katsina, Alaja, Ajokuta, and all the rest of them can power your economy back to life. You can't continue this recharge card economy that we are running. You can't.
Despite the feeling by some Nigerians that the Buhari administration did not meet up to the standards, there is overwhelming evidence that there has been vast change in the way government has been run, with results in almost all sectors of the economy. Nevertheless, the New Hope agenda being pushed by the incoming president must seek to make a change from the way things are being run. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And over in the northwestern part of the country, the incoming governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, berated the outgoing governor, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for departing from established democratic practice in jetting out of the state and not personally handing over the state government to him. Yusuf said that the handover note submitted by Ganduje through the outgoing secretary to the state government was not enough and very scanty. He also said that it was appalling that Ganduje left a debt profile of over 241 billion naira for the incoming administration, saying this will be probed accordingly. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at agro-climatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes. Details and more after the break. All right, welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories again. Tinubu, Shetima take oath of office as 16th president and vice president. Nigerians expect President Tinubu to fix the economy and address insecurity. Now moving on, gunmen have released a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Matthias Opara, who was abducted last Friday. The clergy, popularly known as Owu Ujo, was kidnapped on Friday while driving back to Owerri after the funeral rites of the father of one of his colleagues at Izombe community in Oguta local government area. Opara is in charge of man of order and discipline of the Catholic Archdiocese in Owerri. A source close to the Archbishop of the Archdiocese confirmed his release on Sunday night. He said that the Archbishop personally confirmed it to him that the priest was released by his abductors on Sunday night. The World Bank has commenced the implementation of agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes project worth $700 million in 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory to help reclaim land degradation in the region of the country. Abdulhamid Umar, the national project coordinator who led an assessment team to Bauchi State, disclosed this to journalists on arrival to the state capital. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
The national coordinator said essentially Bauchi State became the first among 19 northern states and FCT on commitment to the project as far as the intervention is concerned. He added that those states are competing for $700 million on agri-cell projects intervention
like said,
with counterpart fund.
Brought about by climate change, some to a very large extent by our activities as humans, to some extent by nature. The intention is that this intervention will reach out to those, particularly at the grassroots. We intend to turn what I saw in the sky, largely brown to green, where water provisioning will be made available for agricultural purposes, which is predominantly the mainstay of the people of Bauchi.
While engaging the stakeholders through their traditional rulers at the community level, the World Bank team says the purpose is to fight issues surrounding desertification, drought, landscape degradation, and deprivation, particularly in the northern parts. These communities are expected to leverage on the projects to benefit more. They train us a lot, especially in the area of environmental issues related to agriculture and planting of trees to prevent our community from windstorm, soil erosion, land degradation. We are proud of this intervention. At the Ankara Game Reserve, the team inspected some of the equipments and operational kits for reserving the forest to international standard procured by Bauchi State Government. They also interacted with forest rangers and other state project coordinators who came to Bauchi to see for themselves on what is expected of them.
Quantum of specialists altogether. In fact, we have not only hosted World Bank, but we actually hosted the whole of the world. Because you can see the specialists cut across all the countries and continents. So we are very happy and we learn a lot. Agri-Cell has the issue of capacity building, and that's a good part of the project. So I want to assure you that all that we have noted and what they told us, of course we have commended, but they gave us some, additional information how are we going to be successful as part
of livelihood intervention. It is at the initial stage because they have to do the need assessment of the projects. We hope that the support from communities, they will be part of the reserve and they will feel that yes, they have commitment that has to do with the management of the reserve. That will give us support.
He explained that the project is to run for 6 years, at the end of which is expected things will turn around positively and the communities will be good for it. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, on the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed a judge to oversee an inquiry into allegations that the country supplied arms to Russia on a ship that docked secretly at a naval base in December. The allegations were made this month by the United States ambassador to South Africa, who said he was sure that the weapons and ammunition were loaded onto the Russian-flagged cargo ship Lady R when it docked at the Simonstown Naval Base near Cape Town late last year. Judge PMD Mojapelo, a former Supreme Court of Appeal judge, was appointed chairman of a 3-member panel to investigate the incident. A lawyer and a former Minister of Justice were also appointed. The panel has 6 weeks to complete its investigations and another 2 weeks from then to provide a report to Ramaphosa, the president's office said. And in sports news, Chelsea have appointed former Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain boss Mauricio Pochettino as their new manager. The Argentine, 51, begins his new role on 1st July 2023 on a 2-year contract with an option of a further year. Interim boss Frank Lampard took Chelsea to 12th in the Premier League, their lowest finish for more than 25 years. Chelsea say Pochettino was first choice and the only manager who was brought into the club for talks. He will work with sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. Still in sport news, Cameron Norrie maintained British interest in the French Open singles after holding off France's Benoit Paire in an entertaining first-round contest. Norrie, seeded 14th, is the only Briton through to the second round after a 7-5, 4-6, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4 win at Roland Garros. Jack Draper's injury problems continued as he retired from his first-round match with a shoulder issue. Dan Evans lost his opening match on Sunday, and there are no British women in the main draw. British men's number 1, Norrie, plays another Frenchman, qualifier Lucas Poli, in the second round on Wednesday. Now, on a tragic note, the chairman of the Dar Communications, Chief Raymond Dokubo, is dead. According to a statement made available by the family, Dokubo, who was a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, died at the age of 71 in an Abuja hospital after suffering a stroke, which reportedly happened after the recent Ramadan fast. The AIT boss had since then been managing his health and was placed on occupational therapy to improve his daily activities before his sudden death. Dokubo's family appreciated the outpouring of love and support during this difficult time, hence, and promised to release further details on the funeral arrangements in due course. And that's it for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.